What's up? Welcome to another episode recording of the Coldest of Takes. About to get to it. Haven't been on YouTube in a minute. John's about to join in. About to have some fun. Connection. It's what we want. We'll get it. I don't really know. But we out here drinking water. Getting the voice right. Shout out to Kobe. His daughter. Miss RP, we miss. We have a good positive podcast tonight. Pay some homage. We're gonna talk some sports, some gaming, some lifestyle. Actually, I don't even know what we're gonna talk about tonight, to be honest with you. I do know it'll be a lot of fun. All right. Well, gold steaks, baby. Gotta keep those steaks on ice. And for the other half of the show, get ready. Get ready. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do this like Dr. Freaking Evil. Holy shit. I'm ready to go. John boy, where you at, son? Alright, so this is like a 35% chance that John might call the board. I did just get like a random phone call. It was weird. Some weird number. I don't know what's going on. Trying to do this podcast, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Ay, ay, ay. Man, sometimes when I be firing up the YouTube, man, it joins just automatically. Hello?
Is that my guy, Mike?
John? What's going on, my brother?
Just chilling, man. I just got out of work and just kind of hanging out. Looking forward to talking to you on where we at, Mike.
Hey, this is the Coldest of Takes podcast, and John, I was really looking forward to talking to you today. So just like to say hi to you and everybody listening out there. This is Coldest of Takes, brought to you by Anchor, and this podcast is available everywhere. John, thank you for framing this up. John, I gotta ask you before you get to it, what do you think the Coldest of Takes means? Like the title of the show.
I think it just means an opinion that you're gonna put out there to the world that might be a little controversial, but you stand behind it, and it might not be the most popular one. That goes out a little bit.
Yeah, and I also believe I believe in that sentiment, and I believe we are not journalists in that regard, and so we have different sort of daily lives than that. So the Coldest Takes is also like we're giving you our opinions on some things that really matter to us, but it's not like as soon as like that story broke. Like we might talk about some Coldest Takes, but we also talk about some deep cuts that might date back.
Mike, and I'm glad you set that up for me. That was beautiful because I have a deep cut now, and Coldest of Takes is officially putting out a cease and desist, and let me tell you why.
Oh boy.
Okay, because one of the greatest speakers of all time now has a podcast. All right, Barack Obama has a podcast.
Yes, dude, I heard about this.
And Mike, cease and desist, pal. Okay, just because you're president, you think you can be anything in the world. All right, leave the podcasters alone and let us do our fucking work. Right. But I mean, I love Barack. He has a wonderful voice, and it's probably going to come great. And Mike, you know who he's with on that podcast? It's called Born in the USA.
Oh yes, it's with Springsteen. Yes.
That's right. Now, here's another cool take for you. With the cease and desist of the former president of the United States, that'll end well for me, is I don't like Bruce Springsteen's music, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm sure there's a couple songs that old Barack over there might not even like.
Well, do you like Bruce? I mean, I'm not a Bruce fan. I don't call him. I mean, it's called The Boss. That's pretty cool, but I just don't. I don't like his music, man.
Nah, I mean, sometimes like you throw on like a classic rock playlist or something like that. He might pop up. I don't necessarily know what the songs are called. I do know I'll typically hear his voice somewhere in the month of July, usually on the front end, and then by the following week that may taper off. But if I was thinking about it today, actually, dude. I got a mean, like '80s classic rock playlist that I listen to sometimes because I feel like you got to switch up some music. I was listening to this interview with Kevin Garnett because he just came out with a brand new book called A to Z, where he talks about his life and basketball and different things, and I one of the things that he mentioned goes along those lines. So that's pretty cool to me. But John, back to what you were saying.
Yes.
Didn't mean to
cease and desist.
I want to cease and desist right here so you can get back to Bayrock.
Right, and I'm very, Barry has been, me and him have had our issues in the past and our good times and our bad times. I'm kind of really neutral on that.
Hey, Bayrock has a book out as well, and yeah, for the record, have the book. And also for the record, the term Bay I don't say. So like when I call him Bay Rock, I use that as a term of endearment because I don't often say the word Bay. So John, back to you. That is my piece.
Yes. And I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a high-rated podcast and all that shit because it's a former president, and I love to hear what he says. Whatever, it's good. It's still a good thing, but they kind of ruined it with Bruce Springsteen next to him, in my opinion. Like, I don't fucking care what Bruce Springsteen has to say. Who gives a shit?
I don't know. It might be incredibly polarizing. Just for that reason, and I think you nailed it on the head with the first thing you said about Barack Obama is that he is a fantastic speech giver, talker, motivator type of person. So that is very intriguing to me.
Mike, I got an impromptu top 3 for you.
Oh, let's do it.
With Barack being, let's just say he's, if you got somebody higher than him, that's fine. But commencement speeches, right?
Yes, sir.
Who do you want top 3 to give you a commencement speech?
Ooh, I would say a firm number 3. I would say would be like Shaquille O'Neal. I feel like that'd be like a dream.
Shaq would be hilarious, dude, and he'd be smart too. He would give you he's a smart guy.
I feel like he would give a lot of perspective.
Yeah. I mean, I would just ask him, how does it feel to be 7 freaking feet tall, man?
How's the air up there, Chief?
Yeah, wild. All right, so you gonna go all 3, or we're gonna go back and forth?
Let's go back and forth, so I can think about.
I got Barack at my 3, all right, because I got 2 more that I would love to hear just speak. So, and again, we're just talking speaking, like not sitting at the table having dinner with him.
Yeah, no, I know. I still want Shaq number 3. I feel like that. He's going to be my wild card number 3 spot.
Great pick, Mike.
Okay.
Who you got for
number 2? All right, number 2. I want to go with our current Vice President Kamala Harris. I feel like
that would be a good one.
I feel like that would be incredible. I feel like she is quite the woman, and I would love that for a commencement speech.
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate that one. And commencement speeches are usually like political, or they're not usually like like a Johnny Depp or something, unless it's like LSU,
Yeah, that's why I gave Shaq, number 3, because I feel like he's such he's such an X Factor type of dude where like he might get one.
Now I'm gonna make number 2 personal for me, okay? Because I went to UMass, And I would love to hear Dr. J.
Wow. Now that'd be something.
He was in the movements with Bill Russell back in the '60s. I mean, Dr. J is fucking awesome, man, and he's the best player not named Marcus Camby to come out of a basketball program. So he's the best player, but both of them are good. So I would love to hear Dr. J's experience at UMass. I think they won a title with him in like the '60s or whatever. And just how his experience relates to us and the world. And he's a very interesting character that never gets mentioned in the top 10, but he is clearly in the top 10 of all time. He's Dr. J, man.
Dr. J.
So who you got for number one, though, Mike? I set you up there. I had to get a basketball player with you. We got two political figures, two basketball players. Who's going to rank in your number one?
Okay, so I don't want to go with an actor because you just because of what you just said, but honorable mention, I'm going to throw up there Denzel Washington as my honorable mention.
I'll throw up my honorable mention, Morgan Freeman.
Boom. That's very good.
Voices,
very good.
Who you got?
All right, so for the number one spot, with careful consideration, I would say, given a lot of things with how, the world is now, like differing opinions, offering different perspectives and on issues that matter. I feel like the person I kind of most want to hear from right now, and I feel like would connect with a lot of people. We're talking commencement speeches. I'm talking AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, bro. I feel like regardless about how you feel about it, I'm not saying I'm a huge fan.
No, and she would be a wonderful speaker too. But,
yeah,
and I would listen too because I like to hate disagree. It's like when I hate watching the Yankees or something, but I would respect the shit out of it.
Oh
and
yeah,
give you the life lessons. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she'd be like,
that's
what a commencement speech is. That's a great pick, Mike. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I just don't think she would make it, about herself necessarily. I feel like, the commencement speech I had, it felt like it was a lot about the person that was giving the speech, and it was just, it was a little too much, and it didn't show a lot of perspective onto the future and what you want out of that. So I feel like the list that you and I compiled there, off the dome. Yeah, and you have to give your top dog here. So John, get after it, bro.
All right, my absolute top dog that I want to hear. Give me a commencement speech as I'm about to go into the freaking world. Dave Chappelle.
Wow. Well,
I think he can be really serious, mix in a little bit of humor, but he's starting to give more advice than he is making the cheap joke, and he's really standing up for Ohio, of all places Dave Chappelle lives in, is Ohio, which is odd.
I hear they got good internet over there, so.
Yeah, like he's doing this thing. I just think it'd be really fun. Again, I just want to hear him kind of in a setting that's not a comedy scene, right?
Right.
I think he can, because he did that in Ohio when he had he did some stand up, but everybody was like socially distancing, and he was just kind of there in the middle of like a tent. It was kind of like a wedding setting.
Yeah, it's real intimate,
And he was real in that, dude. Like. Unfiltered and unapologetic in ways that you don't know. So I'd love to see where he would go with it in giving kids advice going into the world. That's my top one. That'd be really fun.
That's really good. I like that.
Honorable mention. I actually kind of want to sub out Barack for Michelle.
There you go.
That's not a bad play, dude.
No, not a bad play as well. She's got some great books out there. She's a very strong, powerful woman as well.
And she's super into education too, which is like you're coming out of college, right? That'd be pretty good. So actually, I'm going to take Barack out of there, and I'm going to put Michelle in. You got anybody you would sub out now that you've been thinking about it?
I was thinking to go with potentially someone from the NFL, but I kind of like where my list is at for given how things are. I'm not gonna sit up here and say I want Dr. Fauci out there giving me a commencement speech.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
But no, I like my list.
All right, fair enough. And that was it. Probably top 3. So there you go. I don't know how that came up. I'll have to listen back, but I'm glad you guys are hanging in with us. So, like, I do have, something else I'm kind of upset about.
Yeah, what's going on?
Um, the injustice that is the lunch hour of going anywhere in California, okay? Because nobody's on the road between 9 and 12. And as soon as 12 hits, if I don't take my lunch before 12, I'm just sitting in traffic going to freaking CVS, dude.
Right.
It's down the street.
So what do you do?
You stand in line with a mask like an asshole.
For 45 minutes of your hour?
Dude, pretty much, kind of.
Yeah.
And it's like from...
That's life, baby.
It's like from your house to Gallagher's house away. Like,
But
it's not that far, dude. And it takes 45 minutes to go there and back. It's just like, it's such a waste of time, man.
yeah, it stinks, man. It sucks. It sucks, like, you know, how much time it takes to, like, do something. Like, when it's like, oh, I need to eat lunch right now.
Oh, also, dude, I was there today picking up a script, and then my card worked to pay for the script at the back, and then I went to the front to buy other things, and the card didn't work.
That's also the worst too, when your card doesn't work and you know you got money on it.
Yeah, and you're holding up the line. So it's embarrassing. You don't know, it's embarrassing.
It is a bit. It is weird. It is weird. It stinks. It stinks because you're trying to get out of there. It's like when you're at the ATM.
Yeah. And you know what it makes me think of, Mike, is that Kevin Hart skit where he's like, oh, you know, my bank account does this and this one does that, you know, and you know, you have to explain your bank account to someone when the card gets denied and all that. It's a really great bit by him. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's really funny about that. And it's the same situation, dude. You feel really awkward there, and you got to call the bank and be like, yo, dude,
what's going on here? Right. Hey, wait, here's a quick question. Like, I've became very efficient with my my ATM, you know, moves. I believe we've talked about this before in the past. But John, your personal opinion on if we got ATM here, are you if you got a car, right? Like, if you don't got a car, I understand, like, you know, you're biking up to it or walking up to it or something like that. But if you got a car, are you driving to where the ATM is? And we're talking about drive-through ATM, one that's drive-throughable, like not one that you got to park next to. It's got glass around it. Not one of those cube ones. I'm talking drive-through ATM. Right. Are you the type of dude? Are you driving through every time, or because I recently seen a person, you know, go to the bank to just park there and not drive through, to walk through the drive-through ATM. It was just weird. Like, it was, you know, it seemed weird. It would seem like it was off.
So, Mike, you're telling me that this guy parks his car, gets out of the car, walks through the drive-through ATM?
Yeah, like straight up. Like,
is this 3 a.m. at McDonald's? Like, what are we doing here?
No, it was like lunch hour type of thing. It was. I swear this happened because I saw it happen in my rear view. Because, you know, you're at the ATM.
That's bizarre.
You're at the ATM. You got your eye out for the person coming up behind you. You know, the people making faces in the car potentially behind you. But also, you're locked in on, you know, what you're doing.
Yeah.
And everything. But I did happen to see the corner of my eye some guy trot over after parking his car there. It was just odd. I don't know.
That's odd. Mike, I got a confession to make. I've never been through a drive-through ATM.
Dude, it's an experience, man. I'll tell you what. It's tough sometimes because you got to navigate between blocks where, like, your car is basically isolated. It's like when you go through, if CVS has got a drive-through, like any drive-through. Right. Like, I don't want to pop a tire, like, coming out of there doing something like that. Right. That's absolutely terrifying. We don't want that to happen. But the drive-through is a good experience, though.
I got a couple of things about it. You have to commit to a drive-through every time you're there, right?
Right, and because this is pandemic time.
More than being in the store, though, because you're in the store, you can be like, "Fuck this, I'm out of
here." Right.
But in the drive-through, once you're in there, dude, you are committed. And the thing I don't like about the ATM too is the person is judging you for what your transaction is, like how much money you're taking out, or they're seeing how much cash you have. Like, no, give me the machine for that. Mm-hmm. You guys can see me anyway. You know, no secrets here. Even when I'm dressed like a ninja, like we all are, like, you can still know who I am. It's bizarre. And you know what? No, give me the ATM experience, man. And I don't do the check cashing on the phone. I don't trust that at all.
No. Dude, it's funny that you say that, right? So the ATM, man, if you're at the cube, the stand-up ATM, you know, that's easy breezy. They got a table right there next to you. You're at the drive-through, man. You know, you're driving through. You're doing it on your car. So you got to come prepared. And if you're cash and check, not cash and check, if you're depositing checks, this could be an issue, and you need to have reflexes. Now, this is also the pandemic times. I'm touching buttons with the pen that I got a pen. Like I sometimes I might touch the button with my finger. I got hand sanitizer, okay, obviously, but like I usually touch the button with the pen. Also, very risky maneuver is if you gotta get an envelope from the ATM to make your deposit, put your checks in or whatever.
What kind of bank are you going to?
A regular bank.
No, which bank do you have? I have Bank of America.
Oh, I used to have Bank of America. I have a couple different banks, but the ATM I'm referring to is Berkshire Bank.
Oh yeah.
But I also got a couple different accounts. What's that?
I'm confused. You have to put your check in an envelope? I've never heard of that, really.
Well, yeah. Well, I have direct deposit, but I don't have it activated right now.
There you go, pal.
Yeah, so like I don't know, I like doing it like manually or whatever. So I throw my check in the ATM, right? And so they give you an envelope, so you deposit your check, fill out your information, and
Really?
yeah, so and it pops out of the ATM, and sometimes it just be flying out.
They're like shooting envelopes at you at the ATM.
Yeah, bro, like it's not too far off of it's not really an exaggeration. Like
That's awesome.
It comes out, and I swear to God, like you gotta catch that shit, and if not, like it falls on the ground, and you gotta open your door, you look like a doofus. So you have to make play. You like I swear to God, this ATM shoots out this freaking envelope like in 0.5 seconds. So yeah, you gotta keep the snag on.
Yeah, and there's certain things in life that when you get into it, you got to keep an eye out. And I got one for you too. Those air fresheners where you got the blade thing, and they come out and they squirt a little scent every 10 minutes or half an hour or whatever you set it to.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen those?
Yes.
So when you put it in, it's at the time and you close it. Bro, you got about 2 seconds to get out of the way, or that's spraying immediately in your face.
right. It's like grenade training,
And I've absolutely been gassed by that. like I don't know what they. And it was funny because I was like, oh, it'll come on in 10 minutes, right? And then it'd be on the timer. Nope, right away, pal. Right in the face. So it reminded me of like that in the face. You remember that?
Yeah.
I forget what that was from, but at any rate, so that's a good start there, Mike. I gotta tell you though, we gotta talk about your boy, my boy, everybody's boy on Sunday, and we got to get there, Mike. We got to talk about it. And I'm going to set it up because you're the golf guy. I want you to give me the Tiger opinion. If everybody hasn't heard, I don't know how you hadn't, but Tiger Woods got in a car accident. A lot of false reporting going on. They said broke both legs. They said jaws of life. And then they told him that he had surgery and he was fine. He's going to be in recovery. T's and P's, Mike.
Yeah, dude. It was scary, man.
And I just found this out. Like, he's 45 years old.
Right, yeah.
I did not know that. So for everybody
putting in work,
thinking he's making a comeback now, I don't know. I don't like his odds. Now, he says he can't. But Mike, I want your opinion on the whole situation. How do you feel about the false reports, the good reports overall? What do you got?
Well, yeah. So the first thing that kind of occurred to me was, given like the time frame of when it happened, when it was reported, and everything like this, like there was some some gaps in time. I feel like there was a lot of uncertainty at first with regards to Tiger Woods' health. So that put people in an immense state of, fear, panic type of thing, because, that's how it is now. Everything's instantaneously done on the internet. And it's also kind of like, a year almost removed from, the start of it all. We're trying to come back as a nation. We're getting past, an anniversary of Kobe Bryant's death. And so like, rest in peace, so it's super eerie, you know what I mean? And so at first I feel like a lot of people were really scared because they put up this big sand memorial at the at St. Andrews, They did it in the sand, and it looked like it looked like an piece of art. It was fantastic. But yeah, you couldn't tell me for like 8 hours. Like for 8 hours, I think probably I was scared. Really, I thought I was scared for him because of we grew up with him. He's an athlete of our generation. He's like on the Mount Rushmore for our generation. For sure.
For goats, man. For goats of all time in any sport. It's like him, Serena, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan. I mean, he's up there, dude. He's internationally known more than most players in any sport.
Oh yeah, he's a god. He's a god in other countries.
Everybody knows Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
And regardless of how you feel about him and the whole situation with his wife before and everything, well, first of all, Mike, let's get to he should never drive a car again. I don't understand why he's driving cars.
Why is he driving cars, man?
You're Tiger Woods. You have enough money to hire drivers who are at your beck and call.
Yeah. You're Tiger Woods. You're late for a golf lesson you have to give. There's no reason for you to be driving in general. Like I would assume, you could hire a driver to drive you for less than some cars that you might have. Like buy the cars that you want. When don't like I don't know, but I love driving as well, but also I hate driving. So if I had the disposable income to hire a chauffeur so I could be transported to my endeavors, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Who doesn't? And chauffeurs are usually awesome. They're wicked cool. They're always in movies like they're kind of their best friend,
right. Yeah, like who doesn't want to be that guy? Like oh man, amazing.
So Philip Rivers, when he was living in San Diego, he got a Phantom or whatever, the doors open the opposite way.
Yes.
Car that was like extended long so he could watch film and eat, and like he had a big couch in there and everything. So, because he lived in San Diego, and when they moved to LA, that's like 2 hours away now. You can't just be going, just driving up, a Civic. Like if you got the money, Mike, you got to do that. I don't get why Tiger's even driving. Now, I got another beef too, though. They asked the first responder, like before they even asked if Tiger Woods was okay or what did he look like, what happened at the scene. The first thing they said was, when you met Tiger on the scene, was he sober? Like, no, he's upside down in a car, okay?
It's like, what? Like how is it? Well, that sucks, dude. That almost sounds like, that sounds like some, remember the movie like Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like some shit like from that. But yeah, like that's all anyone, cares about. Like, it stinks. Like we should be focused on his health, and like we want to see him be, okay. Like, everyone has to just like assume because of all the other shit that, oh, he was so fucked up. But no, that's not the case.
And that's what the first responder said. He was like, the first thing I did was to check to see if he was still alive and be able to communicate.
Yeah.
And
like
I was like, yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about here? Oh, was he drunk? I don't freaking know, man.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Out if the guy's alive. So, but did Tiger bring it on himself? Of course, that happened. But I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, I mean, shit happens. Like,
who hasn't driven after a drink? Like, it's one of the most. You get caught, you shouldn't do it. I'm saying, but who hasn't driven after a couple more? When somebody buys the last ride you didn't want, but you're there. Like, it's a little tough.
Right. But yeah, I mean, regardless if that's the case, but also like at car accidents in general, like still like you shouldn't be treating them as like something rudimentary, like especially with like, because anybody gets a car accident, you're like, holy shit, like, are you all right? It doesn't matter the scale or severity of it, like but with all that being said, I do think Tiger Woods will be able to recover at some point and come back to golf and everything. Like, I wouldn't write his career over. Golf is one of those sports that's timeless, and sure, he might not be as athletic, maybe after this thing, but I know he will still become an athletic body again and all that, and he's essentially becoming a cyborg now, because like he breaks his leg, he's gonna have a rod in there. He broke his back. He's got the spinal fusion. So he's basically like the Terminator walking on the golf course or something like that.
Right. And like I think you and I talked about this too, just to tell the people, I don't believe he's ever gonna win again in a tournament, and I don't even believe he's gonna make it through all 4 rounds. I actually truly believe that, and it's gonna be very sad. Competitively, he's still gonna probably play on the senior tour, but is he gonna make a comeback? Absolutely, like because athletes like that. I mean, look at Alex Smith, bro. He almost died and still can't play football. Like these guys are wired differently. Like they are just ultra competitive. I look at Dustin Pedroia. He played until his body broke down.
Right.
Where the doctor was like, "You will die if you keep doing this."
Right.
You love the most. I mean, Tom Brady's one hit away from being in the Tiger Woods situation, right?
Oh,
he would try to come back as well. I mean, these guys are nuts, man.
Well, yeah, dude, it makes me think of what Cousins said last year. Last summer, he's like, "Oh, if I die, I die."
Yeah.
I mean,
think
but that's
James,
that mentality, man.
You think LeBron James would sit down? Look at Kobe. He still was shit his last 3-4 years, but he still kept playing.
Right.
I mean, just to bring it all back. So I think Tiger will come back. I just don't think he's going to do well. But I have a theory though, and I think you brought this up. So I'm going to steal your theory for a second.
Okay.
Is he only going to play majors?
I mean, only, dude. No. I mean, I think there's some other big tournaments that he still might play in, but
the players, yeah,
players, farmers,
the
maybe.
The real fourth major, not the PGA. It's the real fourth major is the players. So that's my opinion, if I had to rank them. But we'll get to that anyway some other time. But
well, the players is in a couple weeks.
Hell yeah.
So we might rank it then.
We're going to break that down, Mike. And
future pod.
Maybe throw a little $2 on Tiger coming back or something. It's probably like 1,000,000 to 1 odds.
There's no shot he comes back for the players.
No, not for the players. I mean, just overall. Say if Tiger comes back, find a gambling website.
If there's a bet for Tiger to come back, I mean, I feel like that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, but we still don't know how serious those were, what his rehab's going to be like. So
yeah, true.
With the bad back too, now your legs are shattered. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, so we got to find the needle in the haystack,
No, Mike, I'm still sprinkling money on it. Absolutely, I'm taking it that he's coming back, and he'll play in another tournament for sure. I'm just glad that he's okay. Man, that car was flipped, dude. Roll over when they say that, and the news scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw that on the screen, and I was like, oh shit, dude, this looks like the scene square out of iRobot. Flips the car five times in the tunnel. But yeah, dude, that's where we're getting to, man. That's where we're getting to with these autonomous vehicles and everything. I would assume, I don't know what car Tiger was in, but I would assure you that was not no Buick he was driving. But yeah, dude, it's incredible. I'm just happy that he's still with us and everything like that.
And so near Kobe's death too, and him being in LA as well. That week and this week in February.
Yeah, was Harrison Ford flying a plane somewhere?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It was a glitch in the Matrix, man.
Yeah, it's bizarre. So I'm glad everybody's okay. Moving on to a little bit of better topic. Mike, what do you got for me? I've been kind of bringing them up. What are you thinking about lately?
Okay. I'm thinking about a few things. So one of the things that I find pretty funny is that you remember how I believe it was last week I was talking about that TV show Dark and how I was all into it and everything. So I recently just roller coaster ride with that show. I was invested. I was gassing it up last week, and then pretty much the very next day, I watched an episode and immediately became frustrated with the series. And as I was getting further along and everything, so I rode this wave pretty much for much of this past week, where I was off put with the show, because as things were unfolding, as my theories about it was starting to become right, and how confusing it is, and I was just like, oh man, this is ridiculous. And so I was down on it, And then I recently reinvested back in the show because some more interesting things did occur. And now I'm back in because season 3 seems like it's gonna be freaking awesome. So I can't wait for that. So it was a roller coaster.
That's crazy.
I feel like has something like that has ever happened to you?
Yeah, I got one, and it's called the OA.
I heard of that show. I think before it came out a few years ago, right?
Yeah, it's you remember the bad guy in The Patriot?
Yes. No, actually, no. I don't.
The guy who basically killed every son Mel Gibson ever had in that movie.
The only thing I know about The Patriot was that Mel Gibson was in it, but also Heath Ledger. So like whenever like a reference where I can like mention Heath Ledger like comes in, my ears perk up like immediately. Heath Ledger, that's my guy.
Yeah, you got to do it. Like, but I'm saying this guy was a wonderful villain in The Patriot. He plays a villain similarly in the OA, but it's one of those things where it talks about near-death experiences and dreams, and it's kind of like a little out there in terms of
yeah, it's gonna take you on a ride, pretty much. Yeah,
and you gotta strap in. But I was in on it like one day, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm in.
Yeah,
and then I watched the second season, and the second season can kill a show, like it really can. And the second season, I was like, well, this is stupid.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, you know what? Let me take another look, right? You give it a time, like you put it on the shelf. You know, Netflix keeps telling you continue watching. I'm not doing it, pal.
Right.
Yeah. Get out of the way, Chief.
Yeah, give me a couple days, bro.
Give me something else. I need to relax.
I need a refresher course.
But I went back to it like it was a real good show. Since 8, I did the same thing because there's only 2 seasons of both shows. Mm-hmm. And the first season was phenomenal, and the second season really started off slow. Like, I mean, Dark did that too. You have to start off banging in the second season, you know? Right.
Well, yeah, dude. Well, no, it did. The second scene, it started off great. Like, I was so looking forward to, you know, when, you know, future Jonas goes, you know, into the containment zone, finds the particle. And like, I was so pumped for that. Like, I really was. And then somewhere it got lost. And then for a few days, I'm like, dang, this shit stinks. I was like, the one observation that has stuck with me through the show. I've watched a lot of different TV shows. You know, very good writing, John. You've seen a lot. The music for this show is it literally just like drowned everything out. Like, I couldn't take it. You know, I watched like 11 episodes of the show, and the music is just dun, 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 and so I had to get away. And then
I love that you brought that up though too, because I don't know about you, but I love to fall asleep with the TV on. I like the noise. I don't have to think about it. It's usually a show that's silly. I've watched a million times. But I have a huge beef, Mike, with theme songs.
Oh yeah,
how loud they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was telling you that show Letterkenny does not have a loud theme song.
So it hits. Yeah, dude, it's great. But then you're falling asleep in it though, and you wake up and it shows you that you played like 3 more episodes. You're like, dang, what happened? Like, I need to.
That's why I always do a show that I've already watched.
I've
already watched through, so I don't care about it. Like New Girls is loud, dude. Like that is like dun dun dun.
Right
dun,
in
dun,
your
like,
face.
Office is terrible. I think the streaming services could like just level the volume. I feel like
be huge win, huge win. But yeah, dude, I also think it's interesting to me how, like, you know, these obscure shows, right? No, it's great. Like don't get me wrong, I think it's great that, you know, they can do this. But I never thought, like, you know, because you go on YouTube or whatever, you know, you go on Spotify, all of a sudden, bang, they got the season 2 soundtrack for Dark. They got the season 3 one. I'm like, how do they have a soundtrack for this TV show that is just like dun, 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 the whole time? So I have no idea, and it blows my mind.
So I got you on that one too. I feel you. That's a tough one. How about, I think we need to be on the team, like, we got to lower the volume a little bit. And I want to bring you on this team. I really hope you're team subtitles.
Well, I am sometimes, not all the time though.
Oh man, I am all the time.
Well, I don't listen to the TV like very loud like that. I don't know. I don't need subtitles. Like I don't need it. Like my girlfriend's family, they rock subtitles like all the time and stuff, and that and
Hell
that's
yeah.
that's fine. But like if you're gonna sit here and be opinionated and call me inferior because I don't have subtitles on, you can get the funk out of my face. Get
Like
that funk out
I'm
of my
saying you
face.
can't read. Obviously, that's where I was getting at. Is you
Right.
can't
No,
read.
I am literate. I read books. I know what things mean. I do happen to enjoy the subtitles, especially for these movies where, you're talking about volume and they got the music just banging and then everybody in the movie's whispering. So I do appreciate
Right.
that for that. But sometimes man, I be so focused that I don't even watch the show or the movie and I just read the words. I'm just like, what's going on? And so it's like it's a fine line for me. I'm stepping on it.
Right.
I'm almost there with you, John.
Right. There's a couple of shows you have to, like Peaky Blinders, because the accents are so thick. Most British shows, like Sherlock, I don't know what they're saying sometimes, so the subtitles help.
Oh, for
But
sure.
there are shows you can't watch it with, like Jeopardy, because it'll tell you the question before the subtitles are hit before the thing's revealed.
Right. You can't do that.
So also, people who read that fast in Jeopardy are amazing to me, because I don't even get halfway through the question before somebody's buzzing in, and I want to shout out my girlfriend because she plays with me and she beats. Not only is she faster than me, she's smarter and beats the shit out of me in it, and it's very, very funny because I just can't read as fast as her, man. And I'm a subtitles guy, so I don't know, man. I kind of box myself in the corner here.
Dude, here's two things that you and your girl should do. It would be really fun. You guys should play Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader together. Yeah, I think you can like download. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could download that off the internet or play it on a site or something like that. Play a version of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? See who's the best, and then work as a team and play this game called GeoGuessr. GeoGuessr is a game involves Google Maps, and basically you have to like figure out where you are, like navigating through the streets of wherever you are, like finding landmarks and stuff. But you're not supposed to look up on the internet like when you see like a bakery or something. You have to like go by street signs and all these things. So it's really intense. And I used
I like this.
yeah, it's interesting. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's definitely weird. So I would say maybe like a year ago, a couple of years ago, something like that. Krista and I, we played it a couple times and we're having fun with it, and totally forgot about it. And then recently on YouTube comes up GeoGuessr, world record, not yeah, world record something like fastest like perfect scores and shit. And I'm watching I ended up watching like two videos, like two different dudes play this game, and they are insane at this game. And I was like, "There's no shot I could do this as fast as them." I was like, "These dudes must be freaking semi truck drivers for a living. They work for FedEx or something." I like they were the guy would just like he wouldn't even take steps down the street or like progress down the street like they have because you're in the freaking Google car, that drives around, and wouldn't even move. You'd just be like, "I'm here." Like what?
So, what are you guessing? Like where you are in the country, where you are latitude, longitude? Are you in the country? Are you in other countries? I'm like
You're basically guessing where exactly you're located. Like you get dropped in a location, you have to find out where exactly on the map you are, and you have to like walk around and then figure out landmarks and stuff, and then come back to where your like spawn point was, and then pinpoint your location on a Google map.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's intense. It's freaking hard.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
And these dudes do it like it's cake, dude.
Every time.
Yeah, dude. They'll put you out in Thailand somewhere. So good luck with that. And then
most of the Amazon basin, dude. I don't know where the hell that is.
Dude, you'll think you're in like.
I'm gonna try it, man. I just love playing games like those silly games that they have, on Tuesday night at 8:00 on ABC. Like just with your significant other, if you have one in quarantine, really put that out there. And like I did trivia over Zoom once during this quarantine, and that was a lot of fun. Like
that's cool.
20 people on a trivia. The host made the categories. Would just flash tell you name, and if someone were like name as many as you can, like Harry Potter curses, and I was like, hell yeah.
John, as cool, John. That I let me tell you, that is very cool. But John, that might have been the softest thing that you've said in a while. I'm out here doing Zoom trivia nights with my girl. You are fully committed in your relationship. Right. I love it, John. I love it.
That's right.
John loves somebody.
You gotta do those kind of things, man. They're fun.
Yeah, no, it turns out to be fun. Turns out to be a great time.
And I think it goes without saying with all these games, there are drinking rules involved. Let's be honest. We just got out of work, all right? Come on, we got to wind down a little bit. So that's the Jeopardy drinking game, man. My girlfriend actually gets me drunk before the first game's over. Like, you have to drink every time somebody gets it right or you get it wrong. So even if you don't guess and they get it right, drink. It's it's kind of like the Thunder game with AC/DC. I don't know if you remember that.
Do you do this every night?
No, not every night. It's like a once in a while thing. You're like, hey, you want to get a little?
All right, good man.
Watch a couple of Jeopardy seasons, and she's like, "Want me to kick your ass at Jeopardy?" Yeah,
that's pretty sick, man. Jeopardy's a great show. My girlfriend's parents they watch that every single night. I grew up watching Jeopardy. I used to watch Jeopardy like every single night at 7:30. It was the best, absolute best. I'm glad you're watching it. I might have to run it back. I'm gonna have to get some competition in my life. Yeah. That sounds pretty fun, John. I gotta tell you this. I don't know if you're big in on the wine, but I randomly got a coupon to like order some wine. And I just thought it was really funny because it's for like this fitness program or whatever where I get, it's like I get my supplements from, right? And then they sent me like, $100 gift card to buy some wine. And I was pretty pumped up about that. And I was just like, wow, that's super random. Yeah.
Are you and LeBron James twins? Because this sounds like exactly what he was doing. He was doing his fitness thing, and they were like, "Yo, you can actually drink, bro. Like, so pretty good for you." And he was like, "I'm gonna get that sheesh."
Well, dude, it's not. I haven't cashed in the voucher yet, but man, LeBron, he's onto something, and I'm all about striving for greatness,
Like James over here, Jesus.
But it's mad funny, awesome, but it's not straight up $100 because obviously there's a catch to everything. I have to spend $160 to get the $100. So essentially I got to buy $60 worth of wine. So this might be a solid gift, but I just think, it's so random, man. Like why do I even, I guess this is why I'm signing up for these, freaking incentives. Like just send me more supplements. Like I don't get it. But yeah,
Like, I gotta tell you though, $60 of wine is, it's like, that might not even be a sixer. Depending on how well you go. And that's the cool thing about wine, man, is like beer is kind of beer. It gets to a level where it's like, all right, it's like it can't get any better. But wine, like they say, ages fine, and you can get $50 bottles of wine. You know what I mean? It's crazy with wine.
Bro, here's one. If you're drinking wine, and I'll tell you, man, you could buy a bottle of 19 Crimes for like, $15 or something, $20. You buy like a case, you put 6 of them away for a few years, you stage it out, bang, like your wine tastes pretty good in a couple years. Like you drink a 2018, 2017, 19 Crimes, it tastes not bad. So, you got to be thinking next level plays if you're buying, in that sort of thing. But wine, all sorts of price points. It all hits different, various different types. But it's cool, man. If you're you got to switch it up.
Yeah, and I love that, man. Like that's the thing that people get into when they get older. I don't want to be a snob though. You never want to be a liquor or a drink snob.
No.
You don't want to be that person.
No. It's like the music snob. I don't want to be that guy.
Right. Speaking of music, okay. I was just thinking about this the other day. Somebody tried to tell me that there are 3 people with baby in their last name. I think I might have was listening to part of my take or something. That there's little baby, da baby, and then the with an A, baby. And then this is the moment, Mike, where I realize that I am completely going to just listen to the music that I have for forever.
Right. Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, it's like you want to be like, yeah, I like some of the newer stuff, which I do, like I try to listen to some newer artists looking for new sounds, like sure. But then some stuff like this flies across your radar and you're like, what the hell? And then you realize like, yeah, I'll listen to Notorious B.I.G. till the day I die. And I couldn't agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. But I will say that Lil Baby, he can rhyme. That guy can freaking rhyme. And he's been around for a few years now, and he's starting to pop off a little bit more. So out of those babies, he's the baby of the babies. And also, John, to further this loop here, those two, Da Baby and Lil Baby, they literally have a song called "Baby on Baby" or something like that, where they like rap back and forth together, and there's like a music video for it. I'll send you the music video; it's freaking hilarious. You'd probably love it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I know. If you want to rap, John, I would consider making your name John Baby or Baby John.
Now, Baby John's tough because of Big John, which was in Robin Hood.
So that's right.
And Little John, like I'm a shorter king, average size height. Immediately, 5'10", on a good day. And I feel for the short kings. That's why you can't, if you're a short guy or shorter or average, you can't be having things that point out the fact.
Hey,
right?
That's true, John. You're right. And I also just thought of king, also very popular word as well. You could be the John Baby King.
Ooh. Baby King Jr. or something like that. I don't know. Like Birdman, Baby King, Lil Wayne. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. It'd be funny. I don't think I can rap, Mike. I barely can speak. And I certainly would have to write all my stuff down. I always get nervous that there would be like you'd forget the lyrics of all your songs if you made so many songs. You know what I mean?
Right? Like, how do these dudes remember their lyrics, bro? Like, how does Snoop get I understand Snoop being able to do it. Snoop is the best. Like, how has this dude been relevant for so long and still he does everything, bro? Like, it's insane.
Up. He could be a commencement speaker. That'd be awesome.
Honorable mention right there, Snoop.
Snoop Dogg, man, and just. I want to hear him talk, man. He's funny. Like, he's good. Some people are just good to listen to. And Snoop is absolutely that guy. That's a good point. Like, great stuff there.
Hey, well, I mean, you mentioned that as well. And also, we are, Snoop, we're showing our age a little bit too. I was talking about B.I.G. I just can't stress this enough. I wish more young people knew about Tupac and Biggie. I really do. I feel like their music is so timeless and it inspired so many rappers and so many sounds and everything like that. And these new rappers and stuff, they like some of them don't even know who they are. And it's just wild to me because I feel like, there's a lot of kids like you probably have memories of when you heard, Hypnotize and stuff for the first time and, all these things and Juicy and Big Papa and stuff like that. And like that to me.
Hardball, Mike. Hardball was Big Papa. That
right.
was the first time I ever heard Biggie. That's how old we are.
There you go. There's another one. But yeah, dude, it's just like I just wish that was like a summer reading, like if you had summer reading,
Yeah.
they
Ooh.
it's like they have you listen to some Notorious B.I.G. or something like that.
Yeah, and compare it to the stupid music that they have now. And I'm like, I'm not a TikTok guy. I know that's a thing for the younger kids. That's one of the things I'm going to pass up in my life. But I have seen the ones where they're like, how emo are you? And they play songs, dude, that I'm like, I know all 11 out of these songs. And you don't even know who Panic at the Disco is?
Right.
Oh, come on, man. Like, you don't know who Fall Out Boy is? Oh.
Right, and it's like not even that long ago. But also I do think a lot of the stuff that we see on TikTok is fake. And then also a lot of these kids who are in high school right now or something like that, in that age range, they're not gonna know. I'm not gonna expect them to know, something obscure. But yeah, I want them to know Notorious B.I.G. Like I can't stress that enough.
Now, Mike, I've always had a theory about. First of all, there's going to be a documentary on Biggie coming out soon. I think it's on Hulu, which is going to be awesome. Also,
Yeah, I heard
Apple
that.
Pay for How I Met a Fifth Grader, or How I Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader. It's on Apple TV. So my other point though, Mike, is would Biggie and Tupac be as good or revered if they made more albums? Because a lot of people are shitting on like Lil Wayne, who I think is one of, if not the greatest rapper of all time, because he's still putting out albums. It's not as good as what they first discovered or they thought of him. You know what I mean? But when you only have like 2 or 3 albums, and you obviously, well, Tupac's alive, he keeps making songs. It's weird. It's like we all know that happened. But no, it's like one of those things. Like, do you think they'd be as good? I think it's a valid question.
So about the albums or about Tupac being alive?
Like if they made 7, 8 albums, would you think they're as good as they are?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you could do that with like Jay-Z or Eminem or something like that. I feel like with any person, any artist or something, they're all gonna have peaks and valleys, and also music is subjective as well. So like something that might be hitting for you isn't hitting for somebody else. So yeah, but
oh, what was that one that you and Daly listened to? It had Red Cafe in it. What was that group? Like it was a group of them.
I don't even remember. But what I was gonna say was I don't remember that group. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like I don't know if it was Jadakiss, but it might have been like Jadakiss.
Oh, the Locks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the best, dude. Living off experience, bro. Get out of town.
I didn't like it.
Oh well, dude. Here's the lot. Well, it was too hard for you then. That's what it was.
I am soft. You're right. You got me back.
But dude, it's funny that you mentioned that as well. Like, yeah, and it's no big deal, man. Like everything's subjective, and there are some songs out there that you probably like. But here's 2 things. I remember when I was in college, I had an immense collection of like every Jadakiss song that came out at the time. Like immense. Like I was up to date on this library, right? And I remember this kid on my floor, like he never heard him before, and he was just like, yo, this is sick, this is shit I never heard. And I remember I gave him my flash drive with all my Jadakiss songs on so he could download it to his computer as well. And he was so pumped up, and that's something I'll never forget, because music is something cool like that. I'm never gonna be the dude that's gonna be like, I put you onto that. I'm not gonna be like I don't like it when like there's some funny videos out where it's like, people are always reminding you that they put you onto something, but like I feel like music is something you spread around, like you enjoy and things like that. But yeah, like that is one for sure. And then my alarm for the longest time was this song called Breathe Easy, and it was the most like startling alarm I've ever had to this day. Like to this day, you might become accustomed to a certain alarm that you have, John. You could speak on this.
Yeah, I'll get to it, but finish your point here, Mike.
But this alarm, dude, every single time, like it was like bang, 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 like, and then the song is called Breathe Easy. So it was like ironic at the same time, and it was super intense. It woke me up. freshman year of college. With my random ass roommate, and just I'll never forget that shit. Never forget that shit.
Like, I got something for you because I don't do the song alarm in the morning because I'll actually just sleep. I have to have something like really abrasive.
Well, this song would do it.
All right, that's perfect. I might say
it's like that alarm on the Apple iPhone right now that is like a long, like drowned out, like little alarms. It's like a factory alarm, but it's not. Yeah, I swear to God, like this Breathe Easy song, it was hitting like that. It was hitting like that, man. But yeah, I don't do the song alarm anymore. But it was a time. It was a time.
Not to keep bringing up my girlfriend, but Julie, she has a Icky Thump by the White Stripes, and that beginning of that song is real abrasive when you're singing.
Okay, yeah. So she had like my sort of thinking, I would say, and so she still rocks it.
Yes,
that's unreal. Like, good for her, dude. I might throw on some Breathe Easy tomorrow morning.
There you go. But here's another thing I thought of. You made me think about this with alarms and music. Like, I saw a relic today on the phone, or I heard a relic. I heard a ringback tone.
Dude, that's sick.
At work, I called the number that they gave me, and the guy had a ringback.
That's awesome. That was a great time as well. On a Thursday as well, Throwback Thursday of all days. You're hearing ringback.
Seriously, I didn't even think about that.
What song was it? Was it a recognizable one?
It was Boston. Boston, the band, their most famous song.
The Shipping Up to Boston song?
No. Oh, this is gonna bother the shit out of me. I'll look it up. But yeah, Mike, can you explain to the people what a ringback tone was? Because I actually don't think many people who have listened to this know.
Right. Ringback tones was basically this thing that you download on your flip phone, your OG flip phone back in the early to mid 2000s, when you wanted to flex, but you didn't know how, and you loved music. You got a ringback tone, and you could get a variety of songs from TV, music in general, and they'd play the best part of that song.
Yeah.
And you would get this for the intention of having your phone on full blast when you're around as many people as possible.
Yes.
As many people as possible, and you would pray to God somebody called you.
Like, it was More Than a Feeling by Boston. I can't believe I heard that.
More than. Oh, great song.
I mean, tremendous song. As a ringback tone, like, that's great.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And I used to remember this kid in high school had In the Club, and you could find me in the club. Like, every time his phone rang, and I was like, that's cool. Like, like well, who's on the other line? It could be his mother, but he's in the club. Like,
He's got things to do. Yeah, he's got pop bottles full of buff.
I loved it, man. There were some really, really good ringback tones. Oh, and speaking of that generation music, we just keep falling in this rabbit hole. Did you see the Britney documentary?
I didn't watch the whole thing, no. But I'm very privy to the situation and everything that transpired. So whatever you want to speak on, I'm definitely aware of.
So, I mean, I am, first of all, saying free Britney. Like, Jesus Christ, like, leave her alone. And it's a toxic situation. I'm not going to get into all that. I'm saying
that was punny out of you.
I grew up, and yeah, I know, right? Oh God, what a song, man!
That would have been like could have been a top ringtone of all time.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Akon.
That's true. Wait, say it again about Akon and Britney. I missed that.
No, I was saying, like, because you mentioned Toxic. I was like, dang, like that the song Toxic, amazing. Could be one of the better, could be in like the top 100 music videos of all time. Throwing Britney Spears Toxic. Yeah.
I got one better for she made. I can forget about this one because she was on a flight attendant stuff, which was awesome. But I'm a slave for you.
With a snake?
No, she was in like jungle gear.
Yeah, she had a snake on her. I remember, dude. Here's one. You remember making the video for on MTV? Yeah, they had one for that.
I was on before like Next and Room Raiders.
Room Raiders.
Or after TRL. Jesus Christ, we're dating ourselves in this podcast, Mike.
It's all good, man. Nostalgia pod.
Dude, Brittany she was the queen, man. And at the same time, I'm a Slave for You video came out, the Dirty video for Christina Aguilera came out, and I was like, oh yeah, I like this a lot. That was like you're like 8 years old, and it was a crush when you were little, and then you're like, no, like I really want to like kiss them or something. You know what I mean? Like you get really attracted to your first people at that point, like 9 or 8, and I had the Dirty video and the I'm a Slave for You and Toxic video all at the same time. I was the stars got me, like, and that's what I'm saying. I love Britney.
So John, here's a random question for you. Are you aware of NBA Top Shot?
Okay, what is that again?
It's
about you buying gifts.
You basically buy a gift. So I don't think necessarily this. Maybe it will come to the music industry now that I'm saying it. But like, if you could buy a gift from that Dirty music video, and have forever, like these NBA Top Shot things that people are paying. It's like it's like a Pokemon card essentially. What would you be willing to pay for the best gift from the Dirty music video?
Well, it would be the one of her in the corner, like singing the chorus, and she's kind of rubbing her side. Dude, that's exactly what I think of every time. No shit in my game here. And I would pay. Do I have unlimited disposable income here? This is a hypothetical question, man. We've already said on the front end that you're very committed, man. You're very much in doing awesome things. Bank account now, Mike, and paying the same amount of that money, probably double if I had disposable income. And I owned it, dude. You know how much I would sell to people?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. People would want that.
Yeah, and I gotta say, though, Mike, what would you do? What would your one that you would pay an extraordinary amount of money for one of those gifts? Like, do you have one in mind?
Yeah, are we going? Yeah, I mean, so you gave me the Christina Aguilera Dirty, bro. I'll give you, man, what song, dude? I don't even. It doesn't even matter. But
you hit me with the Rihanna song right now. No, so pissed.
No. I'll give you this because it was probably like my favorite song. It was the first song I ever put on a iPod. It was the first song I ever like downloaded on iTunes. And I still like the song, Jennifer Lopez, get right. Now it may not be the most the most eye-catching of video, but I guarantee I can find a GIF in there that would produce some big bucks.
What a good one, man! And Jenny from the Block that was my video. I like that, but that song's better. It's a better song.
That song was unreal, bro. Unreal. So I we were dating ourselves here, so I had to throw out the iPod, and then we're connecting it to this future thing that's going on because so it's like we're creating a big loophole here.
Like, I actually need to change my answer, and I think everybody's going to appreciate this. And I've done this twice in the podcast. Hand up, John. You throw out your first answer. Here's your second, the real one. Ashanti with Ja Rule in the I'm Real video. She was, dressed like Sandra D, bro. Oh, and what a good song, too. I would own that.
Dude, that's a good one.
Smoke show, bro.
So my girlfriend and I, a few months ago, I forget when this was, but her favorite movie of all time is Grease. And, so like I showed like different songs, different things like that. And, there was some Ashanti was in the news or something. And then like Ashanti's great. Like a couple of her albums that came out are like all-time albums. Like we're talking about people that only put out a couple albums. Like she has more albums, but some of those first ones, bangers. But bro, she had that video with her and Ja Rule where they're at the carnival doing the Grease routine.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I think it's called Mesmerized.
Was it Mesmerized? Okay, I'm Real was Ja Rule and J-Lo. Okay, that's why I got that.
Yeah, I'm Real is with J-Lo. And they made a remix with that song.
Okay, I got confused. It's Mesmerized. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Mike.
Bang. Well, bang. We're on the same page. Yeah. But yeah, bro.
There we are.
Straight at I got you. Yeah, that'd be huge for sale on this hypothetical, website that might get stolen from us now.
Shout out, man. Anyway, Mike, I gotta ask you, Did you watch Letterkenny?
I don't have Hulu. I don't have Hulu. So
speaking of that, Mike, I did want to talk about this, about Hulu, okay? Because Disney Plus owns Hulu and ESPN Plus. The package you can buy is like only $5 more a month, and you get Hulu with Disney Plus. Obviously, you got to do that, right?
well, Sue, I don't even have Disney Plus. I was using somebody else's Disney Plus.
Mike, you're gonna log into mine after this, all right? Don't worry about it. I got you. Anyway, the point being though, Mike, is you get ESPN Plus as a package, and that's fine. But you know, and this podcast knows historically, my beef
with ESPN Plus
apps, Mike, with their apps. I could watch SportsCenter 6 times in a row and not care, but their apps suck. And Disney Plus is no better. ESPN Plus is like the one that they just kind of threw on there, and like they built, Hulu was already built, they built Disney Plus, and they're like, fucking ESPN Plus, we'll throw it on there. The reason I have ESPN Plus, Mike, is so I can watch all the Massachusetts stuff, like the Bruins or UMass or something, on that as well, but they never load, man. It's just a video, it just sits there, it never plays. It's so bizarre. Again, my beef with ESPN, but Mike, we're gonna get you on that Hulu game very soon.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I can always do the free trial. You know, we can make that happen. But yeah, dude. You know, the package might be the thing in the future. But
so what are you doing on Disney Plus? Why are you still? What show are you watching? Are you watching the Marvel movies? Are you watching WandaVision? I know you're watching WandaVision.
Well, yeah. I mean, we talked about WandaVision last week or whatever, and I've been watching WandaVision. But yeah, so like with Disney Plus, I'm thinking of buying my own account at some point.
Yeah.
But right now, you know, really good thing going with somebody else's account. But the stuff that we discussed on the pod recently about WandaVision, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and say like I don't like certain types of, I like movies. You know, some are better than the others. Some are structured better than the others. But you know, WandaVision is kind of good, man. It's definitely interesting. So I'm there for that. What I find interesting though about Disney Plus is the whole, thing now where they're pushing hard, they're starting to push hard for this Kenobi show because they want that to grab the attention now and not the Cara Dune stuff because they want to ignore that completely. And I'm hearing that Favreau is out potentially on the Mando stuff, which is unfortunate. Right. But I think Disney Plus is a kingpin of this situation. Now the streaming wars are on basically, where everybody's got a thing. I'm pretty hyped about. They're coming out with a Halo TV series on Paramount Plus in like a couple of years, and it was
is that live action or
it's live action. It's like actors and shit. It was supposed to be on a different network, but not happening. But that's a whole nother podcast. But the Disney Plus thing, man, it's cool, man. I like these streaming services. It's fun, especially Disney Plus because it's got a lot of different stuff on there. But with WandaVision, man, I'm taking a break. I'm letting the last couple episodes stack, and so I'm watched maybe like the one. Like I haven't watched. I know what happened because we talked about it before it happened, and then But next week I like the one that comes out tomorrow or whatever. I think we might hold off on that one, and then for the final week or whatever, bang bang. The thing that was the most interesting to me is there's a fly in the wall in the room on the drapes in the most recent episode, and that is supposed to signify what Agatha is doing. Spoiler alert. We talked about this. It was gonna happen, but what I'm gonna find interesting is I'm really intrigued to see who the villain is, like who they're gonna bring out, how he's gonna be dressed, all these different things, because China has very strict rules against like devil figures and skulls and stuff like that. So I'm very intrigued to see the final culmination of that show.
Yeah, I like that. And the only thing I have a problem with Disney Plus is and it's with Mandalorian and WandaVision, is the shows are like 36 minutes long.
Yeah, it sucks.
A TV show with commercials, but they're basically a 1 hour, like Criminal Minds episode where you actually really only get like 36 minutes of content, which kind of pisses me off because they have the platform to not do that.
Yeah, dude. All I want is like intriguing episode of WandaVision to not be 32 minutes. Like I thought the last 3 episodes were potentially going to be an hour, but I guess that's not the case. But the other thing that I find interesting about the WandaVision show is, as good as it is, as well written as it is, like they need to. It's supposed to be like a sitcom, and there's not as many jokes as I thought that there would be. Like they were hitting the jokes in the first couple episodes, but now there's not as many jokes.
I mean, did you think that those characters of Marvel would provide the most humor, though? Because I think the Loki show is going to be really funny.
Oh,
he's you know what I mean? Like in terms of like things I'm looking for comedy, I was just kind of going into this with an open mind, and it's a very creative setup and plot.
It is. It is. I just think it's kind of ironic that they deviated from some of the jokes. Now we're hitting hard with the series.
Like, wouldn't WandaVision's going to still be funnier than the Captain and Winter Soldier one because they're going to make bad jokes to each other all the time. You know what I mean? It's going to be forced because those are their characters. That's why Loki is going to be fun. Yeah,
Loki is going to be. I can't wait for that show. That's going to be fun to watch. Even like if you're not a big fan of Marvel, like I feel like Loki might even be a better show for you for like a non-big fan of Marvel to watch.
Dude, he was the best character in all the Avengers movies, and I don't care. I'll fight anybody who says it. It's him and Thor are the best characters.
Well, it's because they're the most fun. They,
right.
they didn't. All the characters went between, serious and fun, but like those characters really all gas no brakes.
God damn it.
You all right?
Sorry, that was our other co-host Opal. She was
banging into.
Yeah, no, she flipped the ball.
That's all right.
She's hungry. She's gonna get fed after this, but no, she wanted to shout out on the podcast. Shout
out.
Old Blossom is her name actually. So
that's a cool name.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's a shepherd mutt dog, so she just looks kind of like a pit bull-y lab face. Very cool. And you know what? Speaking of dogs, she is black and white, and I heard that there is a new Cruella movie coming out.
Oh yeah. See, that's a cold take there. That bang. Good on you, man.
I don't know how we got there, but here we are. And Mike, I gotta tell you, I'm not really excited to see a movie about some lady who wants to catch 100 dogs, skin them, and make coats.
Yeah,
now, I'm not trying to be all PC and stuff, but I'm thinking about the shit that Disney sold us when we were younger, and that is like a very aggressive sell.
Yeah, but they're definitely repackaging it to where like she probably starts off that way, and then she creates like something dog loving at the end or something. There's got to be some like new age like twist or something. Like, did you see the newer Grinch movie? The one with like
the one with Jim Carrey.
Not the one with Jim Carrey. The one with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, I did not do that. Jim Carrey was perfect.
Well, yeah, that's hilarious. But the newer Grinch, whatever, completely flipped the script on that thing. It was very similar but very different at the same time. So I imagine that's what's going to be this Cruella thing. I feel like this Cruella movie, maybe they want to elicit some Maleficent vibes. I don't know who's playing Cruella, but I would assume something related to that.
Emma Stone.
That'd be cool.
And I just think they're trying to make it like Oscar-y and artsy, and I'm like, it's not really even a good story, like at all.
Yeah, no, and that's the last thing that people want to hear. It's like people hate hearing about like dogs being mistreated and things like that, and so like I don't want to watch a movie about that. I want to be, like, no, I don't know, about that, but I do appreciate that maybe trying to like everybody tries to rehash a series, a TV show, or something like that. That's like come out 20 years ago. And to be honest, man, it's kind of annoying. Like, like let's come up with something new. Like why does everything have to set up for them to come back because we've run out of ideas? Like, so I appreciate them trying, I guess. But I would just like them to try a little harder to make something different. Like But to contradict myself here, Happy Gilmore 2, I feel like I'm here for. What do you think?
I love it, Mike. I love that they already were calculating a plot when I saw that interview. Like, Adam Sandler was like, "Yeah, we're going to be on the senior tour in Shooter." It was like, "Yep, absolutely, that would be a hell of a lot of fun. I'll meet you on the on the 19th hole or whatever." At, like that same joke, which he's Shooter, man. He's Shooter McGavin, one of the best villains in a comedy ever, I'd say. Probably maybe the best. He was how am I supposed to putt with that though? And that's like every time you're on the golf course with, a plane goes by or, a bird flies, through the green or something. Like, how am I supposed to putt with that thing? It's just a great one. I wish Bob Barker was alive so they could, like, come fight each other because that would be hysterical. And I hope the guy called, you asshole or whatever, the guy was taunting him the whole time.
They should,
What do you think the plot should be, Mike? You're a golf
guy. Dude, I think what you laid out about the senior tour, I mean, it seems like that's probably the way it's going to go down. But I got a lot of faith in Sandler to come up something where, like, yes, he's, making a sequel, but it's literally like all this time later. I feel like he's going to make something that reminds us, plays the hits maybe, but will be different at the same time. I got big hopes for this movie because the Happy Gilmore movie was like a classic. It's perfect. Classics, they have to be around for like 25, 30 years and it's certified. But this movie, man, when he hits the ball into the house, Ben Stiller parts, like they got to bring Ben Stiller out. If they don't get Bob Barker, man, they should get.
He's dead, man. So it'd be a tough sell.
Well, the hologram.
Oh yes, yeah, Tupac's hologram.
I meant since they can't get Bob Barker, they should get like Alfonso Ribeiro or something because he's been so evolved in like celebrity golf that he could be like a heel or something. I feel like that'd be funny for Sandler to beat up, or he could beat up Wayne Brady from the current Price is Right, which might be like
That'd be really funny. You got to bring back the Vivian though from. She's on Modern Family too, and she's great. She's a great actress.
I mean, she appears in like a lot of his movies. Like she was in Hubie Halloween.
Yep.
Great actress.
But that's what I'm saying, dude. You got to bring like some of those characters back, and then you got to kind of move on to a little different, funnier stuff. I mean, I have more hope for the Happy Gilmore sequel than I did when I heard that there was going to be like a Dumb and Dumber sequel.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I feel like
if any of Sandler's movies that needed to be or could have a sequel out of any of them that we grew up, Billy Madison, Little Nicky, Waterboy, all that, it would be Happy Gilmore would definitely be the only one I'd want to see a sequel of.
Yeah, I agree. I also kind of want to see like Mr. Deeds sequel where he like finally gets a greeting card and he owns a greeting card company or something. I don't know.
Oh, Mike, that's a very, very, very nice thing to think about because that was a great movie. I love the fact that he slid down the stairs. Mike, who didn't do that growing up? I mean, come on,
makes you think it's possible, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much fun too. Like you fall over, whatever, you get up and go. It's like one of those injuries that doesn't hurt.
Right, and, dude. I mean, here's another top 3. If you could have a water fountain of any beverage, so in Mr. Deeds, I believe it was like fruit punch.
Yeah, Hawaiian punch. Yep, which is a great drink.
What are like some beverages that you'd want in there? Water fountain full of.
I'm gonna start off real hot. I want McDonald's, specifically Sprite, as my number 3.
Oh, that's a good one.
I mean, and only McDonald's Sprite. And I don't know if the people know this, that the reason it tastes different at McDonald's is not you thinking it's better. It's actually a different formula Coke exclusively sells to McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
I did a project on it. Trust me, I remember in college they do that. That's why the Sprite kicks, Mike. I know you've had it. Wow. It hits different. Like, I know that's a phrase that everybody says, but some reason, man, that's Sprite from McDonald's.
On that same vein, I'm going to go with the Powerade from McDonald's. On the same one, baby.
I thought you were going to go high C that they're bringing back orange one.
I mean,
Lava Burst.
Sounds amazing.
But I gotta go with my number two. My number two drink that I would want to come out of a water fountain at all times. Baja Blast, bro.
That'd be pretty cool.
Gotta hit the Baja, man. It's one of my favorite drinks, if not the top two, obviously. So, what do you got for number two, Mike?
So I guess we gotta go to the high C now as the honorable mention because you brought up something. So like I haven't been into like a Moe's in a very long time, and I'm sure they have these at some restaurants and places out in California where you're at, where they got these like freaking like Coke product machines where you can like punch and choose like a million different types of beverages. And whenever I would see one, I would always get a high C, and but they would also have flavors of high C that you couldn't get like anywhere else.
Very respectable choice. Like, I love that.
But
and you always would go for the high C. That means you're a good person. I just hope you know that.
Good time. We're still young at heart, baby. We're still a kid at heart. But yeah, I would go for honorable mention that high C orange. But for the number two, I believe they got high C like cherry vanilla.
They do in that you can add cherry and vanilla flavor in that machine and it comes out. Oh man, they have that at Carl's Jr. out here. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, so that bang.
Wow, good pick, Mike. I gotta go with the number one. I can't believe it's still on the board. Surge, bro.
You're not going with Vault?
No, because Vault was the poor man's Surge. Surge was like what did they do in How I Met Your Mother? What was it? What was the drink tantrum or whatever that they would drink and they would go on the road trips? That thing was like inspired by Surge being like the most aggressive drink targeted at children ever. It was like 95 milligrams of caffeine per sip. I mean that's and a billion grams of sugar. And what a goddamn soda it was.
Dude.
What a time it was to be alive.
Dude, what a time. Side note. I remember in high school this drink came out, and it was an energy drink, and it was literally called cocaine. And the kids, they went freaking nuts for it. Like I remember this one kid bought the cocaine, not actual cocaine, the energy drink cocaine. And that was the joke. Oh man, I got cocaine. And it was an energy drink, but he's gonna buy it for $2, sell for $4, man. You get your hustle right. I'm out here selling cocaine, the energy drink.
That's a good one. I remember that specifically. And also Balls. Remember that one? There was literally an energy drink growing up that was just called Balls.
Dude, that's pretty funny.
Which is just great. So anyway,
dude,
off that,
my number one.
You got your number one.
My number one is obviously chocolate milk. I want that all the time. Want that all the time. But I want to tell you this, John. This where how I was telling you about that gift card voucher thing. I got like a free sample of this supplement where it's like I use a thermogenic right now, and everything that I use is like it's like non-GMO. Everything is like no sugar. Everything is like high quality stuff. And so the stuff that they send me has like a bunch of sugar in it, a bunch of bullshit that I'm never gonna buy. And but this one sent me, it's the particular supplement type. It's called a thermogenic, and what it's called Burn MF. So it's literally called Burn Mother Trucker. And I just like, well, how did they come up with the stupidest, like most funniest names? Like, supplement branding is ridiculous, bro. Like the names are.
It's a very funny industry, and I love it, man. It's really. I don't do energy drinks anymore. I actually barely drink caffeine. I just soda is probably how I'd ever get caffeine. But the people who do it, man, the energy drinks. I mean, good lord, good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that, bro.
But Mike, I gotta wrap it up here. Do you have anything else for us so we could talk about last topic? What do you got? You got anything?
Last topic. Let's hit the sports wagon. Where do you think Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson end up? I don't know how pressed you are for time. We can leave it up for a future pod if you want as well.
No, I got a couple minutes here. Just gotta wrap up, make some food.
Yeah.
It's only 7 o'clock out here, Mike, which is really cool.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to keep up. I feel like this is the perfect time. Like we're trying to be out of here. It's the perfect time for us and the people to listen. We don't want to keep them forever.
Now I got a couple of theories, Mike. I think Deshaun Watson is going to end up, or Russell Wilson, someone's going to end up in Miami.
Okay. It's clear that Miami doesn't want their quarterbacks.
They don't want Tua, and they're going to get Tua back. But Tua's young. You can develop him. There is some value there. Because Miami's trying to win now with Buffalo, and basically with New England not being good anymore. They're trying to win the division, and the Jets are going to sacrifice everything and make a bad move for, I don't know. I actually think of a Teddy Bridgewater.
Mm-hmm.
Panthers are in the game to get Deshaun Watson, which is interesting. They're cutting a lot of people, creating a lot of cap room. It's very interesting to see. I don't think Russell Wilson gets traded. I think he just explores the market, or he waits until after Deshaun Watson gets traded to see what the value of that market is. And nobody's even talked about Dak Prescott yet.
Right. Yeah, that seems like a mess. I mean, that's clear as day. Like Jerry didn't want to sign him, didn't want to be him to be the face of the franchise like that. Yep. And now it's clear that he's missed the window. Like Dak, for as much as he wants to be a Cowboy, I think there might be a better option for him. Like to be honest, I really do. I think I don't know. I think Jerry Jones is tough. He's a tough owner. He's not my guy. He's not my guy. But I don't know. But I like. Yeah. What?
Piece of he's kind of.
Well, yeah, dude. We heard about what he did over the snowstorm in Texas. That was some bullshit. But what are you gonna do? It's a cutthroat game. But yeah, I think Deshaun Watson. Yeah, it's like you said. Like he's already approved 3 trades, so Russell's got to see where that shakes out. But I heard that a third of the league wants him already.
I know and again, the draft is going to be interesting. Where all of these, I think, if you're a GM, I think you got to wait until see how the draft plays out to see what you could move and where you could move in said draft. So
it's interesting to me though, John. Like these owners and these GMs and stuff and these coaches, they by showing their interest levels in these quarterbacks, they really show the guys on the roster like, yo, man, like you're not. We know we brought you in and gave you a bag last year, but you're really not that guy. That's why I would be thinking if I was Teddy Bridgewater, if Deshaun Watson was coming.
I wouldn't hate Teddy Bridgewater in New England, to be honest with you, for a couple of years, just to figure out what we're going to do as a plan. That's why I want Cam Newton back, man. Like, just leave him there for a couple of years while we figure this shit out.
Yeah, Teddy Bridge never really got a, true, really solid shot. You know what I mean? Like, it's always been weird situations, whatever. But yeah, it's just like whoever stays healthy.
We need a rushing quarterback in New England because we have no goddamn wide receivers. That's why Jalen Hurts works in Philly, because you guys have no wide receivers.
Right.
We need a Cam Newton in our offense right now. That's what we need. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Like we'll get it at the next one. I am John J. Pat on Twitter. Go follow Coldest of Takes literally everywhere. Mike does a great job. Our interns that we fired and hired every time do a great job of putting on every platform.
That's right. Takes. Our temp workers, our gig workers. Right. Bro, we do it right here. Like John said, follow him at John J. Pat. Follow me at st_Katzer. Big things in the NFL free agency. This was a big fun pod for us tonight, and we'll hit hard on the sports. We got number time, baby. This is the Coldest of Takes. We'll look for us everywhere where podcasts can be heard, and we'll see everybody next one. All right.
See you.
Peace. All right, that's Coldest of Takes. Very solid recording. We'll talk to you guys soon.